Well, Anita. Is that so? Don't frighten me, Bob. And welcome to this FA Cup special, where we should be featuring two of yesterday's sixth round ties, where we have the very best of the action, and of course after it the analysis from Jimmy Hill. We have Derby County against Leeds United. We also have the All Midlands clash between Wolves and Coventry. But we start at the baseball ground for the tie between the Football League champions, Derby County, and the cup holders, Leeds. A bright day, but a bone-hard pitch that'll make the ball a little too lively for comfort. Derby today will miss the shooting of Alan Hinton. He's not recovered from injury, so Steve Powell, a 17-year-old defender, takes over the number 11 shirt. But Derby's task here is a formidable one. Leeds come having lost only one of their last 17 games, and now there are no surprises in this familiar-looking side. The two main strikers, Clark and Jones, have contributed 37 goals this season. A fortnight ago, the teams met in a violent game that Leeds won 3-2. So much now rests on the refereeing of Harry New of Bristol. He knows he's got to get a firm grip quickly and keep it. Now the all-ticket crowd, 38,500, impatient for the start.
And it's Derby County who kick off. Both sides have been forced to change their strip because both normally play in white, and I'm afraid it might be a little confusing for those of you watching in black and white. Derby have changed to dark blue, Leeds to all red. Derby, if anything, the slightly darker shirts on your screens, Leeds with those famous tabs in their stockings. And it's Bremner, the Leeds captain, with the throw. Nish turning it into touch. Both sets of players need really to do a job for football to wipe away the memories of a fortnight ago when there were 55 recorded fouls in the game. Todd to the cheers of the crowd, but straight to Lorimer. McGovern with that labouring run of his, but he gets there first and finds Colin Bolton. Hunter versus Roger Davis. Giles to Paul Reaney, leaving it for Peter Lorimer, and that's the one that sets Jones, a beautiful ball, and Jones hitting it straight at Bolton, but a superb ball there for Jones. Steve Powell, the 17-year-old. McGovern, Hector, Derby's throw. Davis. Nothing given. Ball clearance there straight to Webster. And now for Hector. And this time there is a free kick to Derby County. About a yard and a half out from the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. McGovern and Webster with it. The crowd's voice is raised again. Davis is up, and inevitably McFarland is up. But it comes to Kevin Hector, finding the angle, but not the right one. And Leeds get a goal kick. Hector, the top scorer for Derby with 16, who scored 6 goals in his last 6 games. Clark, Giles, McFarland, Jones showing tremendous determination though for Leeds. Giles to Hunter. First time he's been in the Derby half of the field. Giles again. Clark taking it nicely. Jones a 1-2. Clark hit first time, but not with the necessary power, but a good understanding that Clark had with Jones there. Colin Todd now for Derby. O'Hare to Hector, and he's all right, he's onside. But again, that formidable figure of Norman Hunter there for Leeds United. Clark wanting too long. Powell now to McGovern. Inside first time to Hector. It'll fall for McGovern again, and Davis no more than a couple of inches away from getting in a header from McGovern's hard-hit cross. Lorimer. Reaney. Looked like handball there by Madeley. Gemmell. Bremner. Again, taking a risk on this bumpy pitch, trying to dribble their way out of trouble. Hunter was very nearly caught a few minutes back, and Bremner might have been caught there. Giles. Hunter. Todd going in hard. Claims he played the ball. Bremner felt that he didn't. And Harry New agrees. And Harry New, the referee, calling Colin Todd to him. And a stern talking to from the referee to Colin Todd, but no name take. Bremner claiming that he connected with his right leg and not with the ball. And Leeds getting a free kick with Norman Hunter. Jones beaten in the air by McFarlane. That looked like a good on his shoulder charge between the two of them, but the linesman felt otherwise. And I suppose it might be natural for the officials to err on the side of discipline in this particular atmosphere this afternoon. Webster. Again the high ball towards Roger Davis. O'Hare. Crossed again towards Powell. And O'Hare this time to McGovern. O'Hare with a little more time now. And across there! And Hector couldn't quite make contact with it. Powell. Almost forcing Reaney to give away a corner, but Reaney turning it away for a throw to Derby County. Davis again, nodding it down once more for Hector, but that penalty area was crammed with the red shirts of Leeds, and now it's Eddie Gray. Giles. Again, a beautifully placed ball by Giles, this time to Clark. Giles again. Again, hit firmly, and again inch perfect, this time for Lorimer. Still with Lorimer. And Lorimer might still get a chance, no. McFarlane was there, but pushing Lorimer away. And so Leeds get a free kick, indirect, on the edge of the area. Lorimer is close at hand. It might well be a little touch off by Bremner for Lorimer. Referee Harry New certainly had his arms in the air, so it can't be a direct shot by Lorimer. Bremner might well just touch it off. At any moment, it's a little bit of a worry for Derby County. There's Lorimer taking a gamble of getting a deflection off the wall. Jones turning it down for Lorimer. Oh, a beautifully struck goal! 29 minutes gone, and the referee is going across to consult the linesman. Beautifully struck shot. So Leeds go ahead. Throw going to Derby. Davis. And he's got a corner for Derby. McGovern's going to take it. McFarland is coming up again. And all the voices in Derby at the moment are Yorkshire voices. As McGovern once more lifts a corner and a punch away there by Harvey. Powell trying to get it back again. Eddie Gray and Hector there. McGovern turning it in. And now Webster with a chance to do likewise. Gemmell. Straight to Clark, and now to Gray. Clark again, and Lorimer is right up. So too is Jones, and Todd timing that tackle beautifully. Madeley. Nish off his knee, but it's gone to Archie Gemmell. Inside this time, beautiful play by O'Hare. Delayed that pass to McGovern a fraction, but there's Powell on the loose one. Now it's with McGovern. The pass again, Roger Davis going in, and again the fisting of Harvey. And Hunter away once more. Clark. Todd. Nish. And Rainey with plenty of time to find Johnny Giles. Bremner. Powell beating Bremner. Giles. Gemmell going in. That was a good piece of play, and he's found Hector. But Giles recovering well for Leeds. Todd. All playing there straight to Giles. And offside against Alan Clark. Gemmell. McGovern just turning it on for Webster. O'Hare on the far side. Derby's throw. McGovern and Hector right in there, and a corner given to Derby County. John McGovern once more taking it, and Hunter head and shoulders above them all. Todd a very skillful chip back. Oh, and Harvey missed that punch. Todd again, turning it back beautifully. McFarland, O'Hare! Oh, and that was bound for the goal. And of all the ironies, hit Roger Davis in the back. O'Hare with a tremendous shot, hitting his own teammate. And so the score stands still at 1-0 to Leeds United. But that is the half-time situation then, with Leeds United leading by a goal to nil. The goal scored by Peter Lorimer. So the goal scored by Peter Lorimer. The game improving, there's Lorimer, the game improving as we got towards half-time, and both sides at last managed to shrug off the nerves and the tension which certainly affected them for the first 25 minutes or so of this six-round cup tie. We're left then at half-time, Derby County 0, Leeds United 1, and we'll be back with the second half in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, and it's Leeds United now defending the goal to our right, getting us away, leading by a goal to nil. McFarland and Nish to Roger Davis. Looked very much like handball by O'Hare, but the referee was much closer and at a better angle decided that it wasn't, but McFarland again. Hector versus Hunter. Hunter, who's been superb at the back in the first half for Leeds United. Oh, Todd losing out now to Jones. Got Giles in the middle. McFarland trying to come back. And Giles, Lorimer hitting it first time. Hoped to bend it a little bit with the outside of his boot. But in fact, all he did was put it some 6 or 7 yards wide and give Derby County the goal kick. Hunter with the throw for Leeds. Jones, Hunter, Madeley, Gray, but now Todd for Derby. Madeley again, and Lorimer all right. On past Nish, Jones again in the middle, floating it over the goalkeeper, but just a fraction too high for Mick Jones as well. Back this time for Eddie Gray. Bremner. Gray. Oh, he took that well on the right foot. Curling all the way from some 25 yards. And no more than a couple of feet wide of the far post from Eddie Gray. Pushed by Hunter on O'Hare. Hunter looking fiercely in the direction of O'Hare, thinking that O'Hare was play-acting a bit. Not a view shared by the referee, who wants the free kick taken from the correct spot. Roy McFarland then for Derby County. Straight to Clark. Todd coming in. Powell back to McFarland. Madeley up. Cherry on his way. Todd jinking it in again. Hector couldn't get in there. Powell also. In fact, every player bar Colin Bolton now confined to that third of the field. Like a traffic jam in there now. Hunter going up. Hector going up. Davis in there. Turned back beautifully by Davis. And Madeley happy to scurry that ball away. O'Hare took a knock there in that melee, but Derby keep possession. McGovern to Powell, and just a fraction too far forward for Hector, and Harvey sprinting out once more. Well, that's given the Derby fans a little more encouragement. Davis, O'Hare battling for it with Trevor Cherry, and Derby with a throw. Bremner down, wanting some attention. And I think Harry New is saying that if he wants treatment, he'll have to go off. And you can probably see in the background the crowd agreeing with Harry New, saying off, off, off. And it'll be interesting to see now whether Bremner goes off to get treatment or whether he says, I will carry on, which might be an indication of how seriously he was hurt. And the Leeds United substitute warming up on the far side. It's Mick Bates, and anything the crowd might have thought, or we might have said about Billy Bremner, might well have been unfair, because it's Bremner who is going off. Good play by Nish, sold a nice dummy there on Mick Bates, and a long searching ball that Davis will go for, but Madeley, oh, Madeley might have put an own goal, no! Harvey, what on earth, he was coming out as far as that when Madeley was always in control, and Madeley very nearly sliced it wide of him. Webster, long and high to O'Hare. Giles, the back header. McGovern. Todd. And now Eddie Gray. Oh, Clark has made a tremendous run. Oh, great play by Clark. And a couple of yards wide after a run fully 45 yards from the middle of the field. Taking the ball beautifully on his body. And that would have been a goal in a million. As it was, Clark just a couple of yards wide with it. There's Peter Taylor, the assistant manager of Derby, down in the trainer's bench, and it looks as though Alan Durban, the substitute, will be coming on. Free kick to Derby. Just a matter of time, I think, before Alan Durban comes on, the substitute. McFarlane again. And Durban now will come on. And it's Steve Powell, the youngster, going off. So Durban, the Welsh international with a tremendous amount of experience and a fiery midfield player. Coming on for Derby. McFarlane turned in again very skillfully towards Hector, the back header! Oh, and Harvey just got a hand to stop that going in by the far post. Clark. And that'll go away for another throw to Derby, who now have less than 10 minutes to save this cup tie. Madeley getting in there once more. Derby with the throw. Durban back for Nish. Hoisting another high one into that Leeds United penalty area. McFarlane had gone right up there but was beaten in the air by Cherry. Gray, anywhere that is safe. The old philosophy that they can't score goals while it's up in the crowd. Todd with the throw to Gemmell. And it's beginning to look more and more that Leeds United, the holders, will go into the semi-final again. A hard look at two watches by referee Harry New. Gemmell, and for a moment he had the whistle in his lips. Todd, Davis, and when it comes through now, no, McFarlane was right there, and what a pity, because McGovern was close at hand as well, and that truly will be the last half chance for Derby County. And that is it! Leeds United go into the semi-finals, having beaten Derby by a goal to nil. The goal scored in the first half by Peter Lorimer. So the final scoreline here at the baseball ground: Derby County 0, Leeds United 1.
So as I say, Leeds go again to the semi-finals. And for his view now on the game, we go to Jimmy Hill.
First of all, let me make it clear, I think the better side won on the day, but it was the kind of match that was going to be decided, I thought, by one goal. And Leeds just managed to get that goal and edge Derby out, although all credit to Derby, they made a game of it from start to finish. But just look at the goal now and see what all the fuss was about when it hit the back of the net. There was an appeal for offside. There's Johnny Giles switching that ball into the centre. It's headed down there to Peter Lorimer, who's definitely not offside, but you can see there, left of your picture, Alan Clark in an offside position at the moment that ball was shot. Beautifully taken there by Lorimer, and that's why the referee went across to the linesman, that's why the linesman flagged. But of course, in those circumstances, the decision is only the referee's. The linesman said Clark was in an offside position, and the referee deemed Clark not to be interfering with play. So he can't be wrong under those circumstances, because it's his judgment that really decides issues like that. But what about the Leeds side? I thought it was a tremendously professional performance. I thought they were so cool in defence. They all absorbed tremendous pressure throughout the game, and none more than Paul Madeley. Here he is now in the closing minutes of the game, heading away, and so often when he was clearing, he found one of his own players, whatever the pressure on him. And as this attack comes back again, look here how his brain works. He reads that pass, comes in front of it, a real footballing defender, and once again, gets the ball out to his own side. He did that on so many occasions. And Leeds, of course, was so dangerous when they struck back, having absorbed the pressure. Here's a typical move. Eddie Gray playing deep on the left, as he did so often, and Alan Clark, the ever-dangerous Clark, streaking through, doing all the difficult part of that move, and then slightly miscuing the ball at the end. But that was so typical of Leeds' style. Derby made all the running, but Leeds kept cool and made so much of the danger in the game. But there was a disputed penalty at the end. Derby really fought away, as I say, and kept it going. And you didn't see this incident in the edited version you've just watched. But let's look at it now. The appeal was that Peter Lorimer had handled the ball. Watch now. We'll stop it in slow motion, and you can also see the referee, who was right on the spot and at a perfectly angle there, looked right in line, and in my view, that ball didn't hit Lorimer's arm. It hit just about here on his chest, underneath the chin. But one very interesting thing about the game. I thought Harry New had almost a perfect game as a referee, but I'd like to take issue with him on one tiny point. And it's an interesting one because it happens from time to time in the course of a game. Professionals call it making a back. That's when the forward who is jumping, in Mick Jones' place here, doesn't really go for the ball. And you can see that. You could say that McFarlane's put an arm on his shoulder, but you see the way he rolls there, and McFarlane goes down heavily and illustrates to the ref that, in fact, he was making a back in that position. I think it's worth looking at once more, that, because you'll see, as I say, you'll see it happen from time to time in the course of a season. In this issue, Harry New gave the foul against McFarlane. Maybe he was leaning, but I think he was going for the ball, and there's no question that Jones wasn't. Interesting professional point to finish off with there. But what I would like to say in conclusion is, after all the fuss about how the players were going to kick each other to death, congratulations to both sides for playing the game as it was meant to be played and for providing an interesting cup tie.
Well, our second cup tie today is the All Midlands one at Molineux between Wolves and Coventry, and that pulled in a crowd of 50,000. And among them, of course, was our commentator, Hugh Johns.
Welcome to Molineux, which is packed out for this private battle between Midlands clubs. This is the Wolves lineup, and the return of Wagstaff must surely increase the menace of that dangerous front line, where young John Richards is in such tremendous form. 26 goals, and 2 of them so vital, for they put out Bristol City and Millwall. Coventry field the side that put Hull out in the last round, and it's their strongest formation now that wing striker Brian Alderson has recovered from injury. He's knocked in 15 goals this season, 3 of them in FA Cup ties. Referee John Homewood of Sunbury-on-Thames is linesman Mr. Clive White of Harrow, Mr. Brian Robertson of Shepperton. Coventry attacking the goal on the left. In black and white, the colours may look very similar. In fact, Wolves are wearing the old gold, the famous old gold shirts, and Coventry their sky blue outfits. Shaw whacking a long one, which will curl for a throw-in deep in Coventry territory. Clubs who have never met in the FA Cup before, and stretching back to the early 20s when they played in league matches here. Curiously enough, 13 have been played. Each side has won 5. That was Hibbett practically losing his shirt to Tommy Hutchison. Kenny Hibbett then, the throw-in for Shaw. On for Hibbett, the cross is on. Dugan touching across the box. Shaw challenging in again. Offside flag catching John Richards, far side of the box. Willie Carr's got to bring this ball back. Willie Carr, the live wire spring motor of the Coventry midfield section. Chap who drives everything. Bill Glazier playing in his first ever quarter-final tie in the FA Cup today for Coventry. Parkin knocks it forward. Coop for Coventry. Munro's under this, so Steen. Hutchison handball. Quite a deliberate motion of the upper arm. McCalliog, the free kick quickly taken. Didn't pick up his man. Coop's got it for Coventry. Mortimer. Smith. Willie Carr. Bernard Shaw tight on him. That's a goalkeeper's ball. Jerry Taylor makes sure it is. Dugan against Barry, and Barry won it. Shaw much too strong. Hoping to pick up number 11, Wagstaff. Will Smith for Coventry. Steen. Mortimer going well, this boy. Alderson, well stopped by Taylor. Willie Carr now, nobody stretched wide on the flanks. Well taken down by Wagstaff. An early ball, hoping to pick up Richards. Parker's there. Munro knocks it forward again. Dugan against Barry. And Dugan gets the touch on. Richards, the speed of him. He must be in for it. He's got it. John Richards. 6 minutes into the game, and young John Richards keeps his cup dive, goal again streak going. Scored against Bristol City, scored against Millwall, and here in 6 minutes he's put Wolves in front. The through ball, John Richards outstripping young Bobby Parker, who couldn't last the pace on the run towards goal, and Richards slipping it in, side the right-hand post. A tremendous start for Wolves, 1-0. Coventry now. Coming forward, McCallion stops them, and Wagstaff, who's hardly touched the ball so far. Picks up Shaw. Wide here for Hibbett. Catlin coming in to face him. Good ball. Jimmy McCallion. Just a little bit too fast for him, and McCallion pulled up then, and looking as though he might have pulled a muscle at the back of his right leg. It certainly looked as though he started for that ball, as though he would get it. And he looks to be in some pain. Munro winning it well in the air. Catlin. Kindon got Catlin after the ball had gone, and Catlin's down. He's up again now as Kindon starts off again. Parker stopped him. Willie Carr, Mortimer, Alderson, and Munro has come to the wing to face up to him, and won it. Won a second time by Shaw. Wolves biting with much more positive urgency in their tackles. Alderson, the box ball, Hutchison. It's on for Mortimer, too long for him. Dennis Mortimer, one of England's newer under-23 internationals. Phil Parkes, pretty good record in goal for the Wolves this season. 14 of their 47 games, he's had no goals against him. Dugan aiming for Hibbett, on for Wagstaff. Return ball for Hibbett, a bit short, but he won it well. Took it off Smith. Long low one, and there was Richards, biting and looking for the crumbs falling from the rich man's table. Only just wide, he got a flick away for a corner. Hibbett's low driving ball, bouncing awkwardly as it came to Glazier. And John Richards, eager as ever, there to look for the rebound. The ball's not in the quadrant. So Hibbett, tiny bit of breeze to assist the in-swing. Kindon got a lump of it, and Shaw will try the shot. Went through there like a googly ball, bouncing first one way and then the other. Hibbett knocking it up. Barry down for Catlin. Coventry then, going attacking the goal on the left. Parkes hitting a tremendous long ball for Dugan. Tries the shot, the looper. Well, he made that one loop well, but it looped over the bar instead of under it. Will jump Steen, but unfairly. Steen really not having much joy against Frank Munro. Park in for Wolves. Dugan. Wagstaff. Dugan goes for the return, down the touchline. comes to him. Barry gives the corner away. A lot of pressure on Roy Barry this afternoon. Barry, 30 years old, fine career with Hearts and Dunfermline before he came down to Coventry. The area that Hibbett will be aiming this corner for. Dugan! There it is! No! No! John Homewood kills Dugan's smile of triumph. He spotted a foul inside the 6-yard box. 33 minutes into the first half, and it's still 1-0. Dugan's header not allowed. Steam down for Hutchison. Early ball on, and it's there for Alderson. Now Willie Carr. Good try, away by McCall. Punched in there by Coop, and Carr was yattering and nattering at referee John Homewood. And a free kick's given against him. I think he was saying that there might have been a handball in the box when that shot went in. Dugan getting a tiny piece of it then, as referee Homewood points to the dressing rooms, and we have the end of the first half of this FA Cup quarter-final here at Molineux. The man who put that scoreline up there for Wolves, John Richards. Wolves kick off the second half then, attacking the goal on the left. 1-0 up, and Coventry have decided they want more drive in the side. Wilf Smith has not come out for the second half, and there's the substitute immediately, number 12, Mick Maguire. Mick Maguire with some 43 league games behind him, just 20 years old. And Wolves to pick up where they left off in the second half. But Coventry is still just 1 goal down, knowing that one good shot and they can be right back in this cup tie. Here's Maguire. Willie Carr, through ball for Alderson. That build-up looks a lot better. Now Hutchison playing more orthodox on the left side. He was on the right side most of the first half. Hutchison, a difficult man to dispossess. Has he done too much against Taylor? Trying to make the angle for the cross ball on his left peg, and he gets it there. Dugan, the dummy against Barry. Chase on between Dugan and Barry. It's got to be firm. Monroe up, but it's falling for Steen. A little touch was all that was needed to feed it to Hutchison. Brief reminder for viewers in black and white that the colours may look very similar to you. The Coventry players perhaps quickly identifiable because their numbers are on their dark shorts. Which is all right when they're facing you, but I imagine it's not too good when they've got their backs to you. Dugan got a small tickle on it. Mortimer tries to hook it out, didn't win it. Richards! Whacked down, and this penalty's given. Penalty given. The two fullbacks, Catlin and Coop, together, knocking John Richards sprawling, and referee John Homewood is on that spot. He's given the penalty. Well, Bill Glazier, only last week, saved a penalty from the best man in the business, Franny Lee. Now the pressure building on Bill Glazier again. I wonder what thoughts are going through his mind. Hibbett is the man that he faces. Hibbett, who's already hit 2 penalties this season in cup ties, neither of them in the FA Cup. And Hibbett hits a very firm ball. All the pressure then on Bill Glazier. And he's there. It's 2-0 to the Wolves. Glazier gets the right way. He dived, and he couldn't have been more than a couple of inches away from that ball when he hit the ground. But it's 2-0 to Wolves. 4 minutes into the second half. The penalty awarded by Richards went for it. He was sandwiched by the two fullbacks, Coop and Catlin. And Hibbett made no mistake from this spot. Well, that's a healthier looking scoreline for Wolves now, and a terrible blow for Coventry, who had looked a much more attractive force in the opening stage of the second half. Collingstein. Hutchison out down the left touchline. Munro comes to face him. Now Taylor comes in, and Hutchison looked as though he got a bit of a whack from Munro then. But the phlegmatic Phil Parkes pops the ball down to get the game going again. Mortimer knocks it forward. Taylor whacks it in there again. Dugan. Hibbett. On for Dugan. Big gap there. Great big gap. And he's just wide. Oh, Dugan would be delighted if that somersault was in praise of a goal. And he wasn't much more than 5 to 6 inches away from getting it. Dugan spotted the gap was there and charged into it to try the shot. Munro doing things pretty firmly and solidly this afternoon. Taylor really has given so little away at right back for Wolves. Carr for Maguire. And again, Willie Carr is caught out, nattering at the referee. John Homewood will want that free kick taken again from the exact spot that Willie Carr was shouting at him. Now Roy Barry, the skipper, asks John Homewood what it's all about. And I suppose John Homewood says, "You're not going to talk to me like that." Can't get away with it. That must be about the third time that Willie Carr had said something out of place during the course of this game. Frustrations of 2-0 down building up in the Coventry side. Throw in on the right side. Wagstaff waiting for somebody else to take it. It'll be Hibbett. And a chance for Richards. Oh my gracious me! How do you miss him from there? What an incredible moment for John Richards. That throw-in from Ken Hibbett, bouncing, or going over Dugan and Barry, bouncing so perfectly for Richards, and from what, 5 yards, high over the bar. Steen feeding Mortimer on this right side for Coventry. Finland coming back to hustle him. Mortimer's in a bit of trouble down there now. Not much room to work in. McCoop. Handball. Against Hibbett. About 12 minutes of this game left. Coventry 2-0 down. And they dearly love a goal now. They've sent everybody forward to look for it. And that was Hutchison just wide. Barry, I'm sorry, Roy Barry. Ken Hibbett for Parkin of Wolves. One of the few mistakes that Derek Parkin's made this afternoon. Carr for Alderson. Carr on for Mortimer. This looks useful. Wow, and gets Munro. It's a good job it wasn't a yard and a half to the left. Catlin saying that it did in fact happen inside the box, but I think from this angle here it was quite clearly outside. Willie Carr sizing up the kick situation. Indirect free kick. Up by Taylor. Hutchinson under it. And that's a fine try by Roy Barry again. McCope for Coventry. Now Maguire. Much too firm for Mortimer. Kendon trying to glide it on. Barry for Willie Carr. A lot of people shouting for the ball from Willie. Maguire gets it, gives it back to Carr. Steen. Mortimer to his right, and Carr's gone on through the middle. For Alderson instead, Willie Carr with a shot! Oh, what a fine try! What a very fine try from Willie Carr. Just clipping the outside of the post from one of the sweetest moves that Coventry set up in this second half. A neat passing movement, and Willie Carr getting on the end of the shot. Parker won it well. Now Hibbett down for Kendon. Dugan trying to knock it down the line, didn't get there. Wolves who won the FA Cup 4 times in their history, the last time in 1960. Foul given against Parkin. Climbing above Alderson. Coop with the free kick. And again the offside. Flag catches Willie Carr just about on the penalty spot. With Willie Carr, things haven't gone his way this afternoon. And there it is. There's the final whistle. Wolves win it 2-0. John Richards in the first half. Kenny Hibbett the penalty in the second half. And Wolves go through to the semi-finals.
Well, time now to look at 1 or 2 points that emerged from that excellent cup tie at Molineux yesterday, and a chance really to pay a little tribute to a man who, the older he gets, the better he seems to get, our old friend Derek Dugan. Here's Jimmy Hill.
Well, it's good to see the Duke going so well. There's no doubt about it. He really is in splendid form at the moment. Well done, Wolves, on that victory. It looked to be a very interesting cup tie. Hard luck, Coventry. Naturally, I was a little disappointed to see them lose that match, but for me, it looks as if the better team won in that cup tie too. But there was a disputed penalty. It was I think the moment, maybe not so much disputed, but it was the moment that really the killer goal happened against Coventry. The second goal, the one that really put them out of the game. Not too good a clearance there. That should have been got farther upfield. But the ball's won, and I think you can see as Richards goes for it there. Coop comes at him, jumps all over him, knocks him to the floor. Referee right on the spot. No doubt at all that it was a penalty. And of course, here's Hibbett now coming up to take it. It was a beautifully taken penalty. But on the other hand, Glazier, I thought, did very well to get even as near as that to that fierce shot, but he wasn't near enough. And of course, that was the second goal and the one which really decided the game. But what about Derek Dugan and of course young John Richards? Coventry knew about the double striking threat before the game, but even knowing about it, I don't think they were able really to stop the brilliance of those two particular players. Let's look at some of the action that they produced from the game yesterday, and I must say, not because he's a member of our World Cup panel, but it is a treat to see the Duke in this kind of form. He lays the ball off here. In fact, he didn't quite get his toe to it. Barry did it for him. But look at the way he streaked into space. He's left Barry there. His aged legs, shall we say, looking very young as he keeps ahead of everybody. And I think Bill Glazier got a touch to that, just the end of a finger to that. And you can see the dude still showing his athleticism there as he turns over. In fact, in my view, he got a perfectly good goal. Hibbett takes this corner. Watch carefully to see whether you think he handles the ball here. I think it went cleanly in off the back of his head, but John Holmwood's there, and he spotted some kind of infringement and disallowed that goal. And I think you can see the dude there saying, "It didn't touch my hand." Never mind, on that occasion they could afford to have one go against them. But what about the final goal? Or the first goal, the really beautiful one. There's Dugan winning the ball so well in the air, and look at the ground here that John Richards makes up. Bobby Parker can move himself, but he's got no chance against that kind of running, and also having the strength to stay up and put that shot finally in the corner. A really fine performance there from the old professional Derek Dugan and the brilliant young one, John Richards. But I understand that Derek Dugan got a knock on the head in the kicking in before the game, and I can only suggest if that's the kind of form he produces after that, Bill McGarry better find a way of doing that before each cup tie.
Now we have just a little bonus for all exiled Scots, because also it was Cup Day in Scotland as well. And one of the matches, Rangers were at home to Airdrieonians. Rangers scored with a penalty in the first half, and then they scored this killer goal in the second half.
Nice play by Matheson, a good cross. Mackenzie misses it, Parley misses it. Still in play on the far side, it's out now. Parley is up, looked a wee bit groggy. Throw has been taken on the far side. Jardine lofting it across. Here's a chance for Young, and it's there. Quinton Young, the scorer. 15 minutes played in the second half. From the throw-in, Sandy Jardine drew it to his left foot, crossed beautifully, and Young's back header.
Well, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this FA Cup special. We leave you today, though, with the goal that Leeds United scored at the baseball ground yesterday that beat Derby County and put Leeds in the semi-finals.
Any moment, it's a little bit of a worry for Derby County. There's Lorimer taking a gamble of getting a deflection off the wall. Jones turning it down for Lorimer. Oh, beautifully struck goal!